What up, America? It's your boy, Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Thunder. So I'm heading to church, on my way to church this morning, right now, and there's one thing I want to talk about. Um, so it's been 5 years since the death of Tony Robinson, um, and it took place here in Madison, Wisconsin, 5 years ago. Um, and a lot of people, basically, it was a police-involved shooting that took place on this day. Um, but I want to tell you guys this right here because um, I remember I was here 5 years ago when it happened. And, there's been it was like a lot of outrage and whatnot. People were talking about how Madison, which by the way is a very liberal city, they were talking about how much, racial hatred and disparity it was going on between here. And literally, it's talking about, literally, they were talking about how this whole shooting is, come out to be. They think, they think people in Madison, I being a black person who reside here, you know, I should be fearful for any of that stuff. Now, let me go on record and say this, because 5 years ago, what really happened uh, with that altercation between Tony Robinson and Officer Matt Kinney, who was cleared of any wrongdoing, by the way. Um, what really happened was that Tony Tony himself, you know, Robinson himself was clearly the one at fault. He obviously, you know, what first happened was that he was jumping in and out of traffic. The guy was obviously on drugs and what have you. And but and then, like, when he get and the cops were called on, and then next thing you know, when he obviously got apprehended, that was during the time, that was literally when they were saying that this is like suicide by cop, or this is literally that literally they were saying that uh, they didn't have to kill him. But here's the thing, and I've learned this in arresting. When I was working security, I've learned this in arrest and apprehension a while back, and doing use of force. You don't shoot to kill. You shoot to neutralize the threat. So come to think about it, Mr. Kinney, who got punched in the face by Robinson, had no other choice but to neutralize the threat. You know, you know, the situation went from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3, all the way to stage 5. Full chaos. But what really, what really should have done is this. Um, Robinson should have complied. But here's the killer. I still don't think that. Now, I understand that the family behind it is trying to mourn over his death. But you can't deny the facts that Robinson was clearly at fault. Robinson clearly, you know, made poor lifestyle decisions. You know, cops don't kill a particular individual because of their supposed skin color, and I'm sick of that narrative. I'm sick of that narrative right there, because coming from a black person, because I, you know, because I always get told by leftist blacks, you know, and their white liberal snowflake counterparts, that I should be fearful of the police. But I've had plenty of police encounters in the past, and you know, you know, I'm still living right now because I know how to act around them. I mean, cops don't, go out and particularly kill an individual because of their skin color. I mean, this is obviously the moral behind it. And I did a video talking about the verdict. I mean, 5 years ago, I did a video talking about the verdict behind the settlement, and clearly the officer was cleared of wrongdoing. But that's all I have to say about this whole rhetoric. I mean, and I understand that after 5 years, there's still some there's still healing that needs to be take place. But I as a black person, should not, am not going to be. I still I still think that the whole situation, you know, the the issue between um, making this as an issue like how it was 5 years ago, you know, I'm at, something that, I still don't see that this should be a political issue or what have you, because it's still compared to me. I compared that to how the Mike Brown fiasco was five plus years ago as well. You know, especially when you got individuals who assume that police brutality is high among black people, which that is completely false. To be very honest with you, I am me particularly as a black person, I'm very likely to get shot and killed by another black person, say like on the south side, on the far south side of Chicago, than I am getting killed by a cop, no matter where I'm at. You know, whether it be whether it be in Chicago or here in Madison or maybe in some old hillbilly place or what have you. But uh, I'm sick of the narrative where they say that cops are literally going after black people. I mean, going open season on black people, where because of a fiasco, because of an officer involved shooting fiasco, because of situations like Mike Brown and Tony Robinson from 5 years ago. So those are my thoughts on it, and those are things of what we could possibly learn from it too. I'm Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. I'm out.